Hello, preparedness people. Hello, my friends. How are you? Glad to see you here at YouTube Live. Hi, Karen. Hi, Lee. It's Sally, Hoosier Prepping Nurse. Hi, Sven. Happy birthday, Sven. I'm really glad you were able to join us, and leftover chocolate cake sounds right up my alley. I'm just going to grab some hellos here while we get started. Hi, Tony. Van City, good to see you. I just saw everybody over at Nene's Live where she was with her campfire, and that was super cool. She had such a really pretty fire going. Tita's here. Hi, Carrie Newsom. How are you tonight? If everybody wants to tap in where they're listening from, I would love to see that. Hi, Florida Glitz. How are you? Florida Glitz is headed tomorrow to Market of Marion, and I am jealous. Hi, Jenny. How are you doing tonight? Hi, Sarah B. How you doing? Oh, the Banks Homestead is here. Andrea's here. Funyun Maker's here. The Banks Homestead, I think I said you guys. Ms. P. Kitty 13, hello. How are you? Sarah B., welcome to the chat. Oh, my goodness. Sometimes it jumps. Hi, JC. How are you? Rita from South Carolina. Welcome, welcome. I heard y'all got some serious rain this past week, like 10 inches. It's so crazy. And Karen says, Karen from Burbank, it finally rained, a tropical storm. I heard you guys got a tropical storm, and that was very unusual. Tita's in here from the Poconos. Florida based is from Tampa Bay, Florida. Ginny's coming in from Ohio. Holly, hello from Canada. How are you? Leslie Young, hi, and love from Utah. It's always fascinating to me to see where people are coming in from. Rebecca, coming in from Watkinsville, Georgia. I lived in Georgia for a very short time. It didn't work out. Shauna coming in from Alberta, Canada. Oh my goodness, do you guys need rain? It rained here this afternoon. I think we got 2 inches. It poured. It was crazy. Brian coming in from Alabama. Oh, look, everybody's starting. I love it. Hello, Banks Homestead. Can 40 pounds of chicken and beef. That's a lot. Do you have an All-American, a double canner? Do you have 2 of them? All right. Chicken and beef. I'm going to include that in my wrap up. JC coming in from Kansas and Candace coming in from Yulee, Florida. Hello, neighbor. Andrea coming in from, I think that's Montana, Minnesota. Montana, I think. Michelle coming in from East Tennessee. Janet from Las Vegas. Miss Movie Star from Tacoma. Verbena Flower. Hey, how are you? Great emailing with you the other day. That was awesome. Rhonda Allen. Oh, I know. Market and Marion rocks. I love that place. Wisconsin. Hey, Pat. How you doing? Cindy Sue checking in from Southeast Tennessee. Love that. The Banks have 2 Prestons going around the clock. I bet you would have to have 2 Prestons going around the clock with all of that canning you got going on. Okay. Right off the bat, love the question. Sally wants to know what kind of beef everyone is canning because she's been canning mostly ground beef. Me too, right now. Usually I try to can roast, but I never really canned hamburger as much as I have in the last couple of months because I know it's going to be on shortage soon. Tony dehydrated 3 cantaloupes, chopped up a watermelon, did 18 jars of tomatoes. Girl, you have been busy. Tony is just preserving up a storm. So just a little update, just basically on me. Wanted to start right off with that. First of all, Nathan, my son Nathan, who is in the Army somewhere cold in Eastern Europe. He was bitten by a brown recluse spider on his left elbow, and he had to be evacuated out of the area and go to a real hospital, and they got him all set up, and now he's all better, which is very nice. It was not it as a mother, it was not a great experience having your child halfway around the world with a spider bite that that you could fix with all of your kitchen magic. So it just yeah, that was tough. But he's doing a lot better now. I really appreciate that. And also the super chats that we have, or any of the other revenue that I make off of my YouTube channel, all goes to the boys. Today I sent them a huge box of candy and cookies and fun surprises, and they really like the single packet drink mixes that they can put in their water, because the only thing they have to drink right now is water and coffee. So they really like those little drink mixes to put in their water bottles, so that, and they can keep them in the tank. So that's really good. All right, back to, I just wanted to give you guys an update because I know a lot of you have been praying for Nathan, and I so appreciate that. Lori's Thrifty Kitchen Pantry. She's here and getting chicken soup ready to go in the canner. That is awesome. USMC, thank you so much for all your support, you guys. Every time I look at my comments on my videos, I always see all of you in there, and I just love that. Thank you. We're working on preserving the last of our garden and apples from our tree. The only kind of apples that grow in Florida are crab apples. And I have a crab apple tree, but it only usually gives me 3 or 4 apples a year. Hey, Florida Glitz has an idea. We should have a meetup at Market and Marion. I think that would be super fun. Thank you, Van City, for reminding people to smash that like button. Thank you so, so much. And Carrie, Carrie's doing ground beef and roast that she cuts in strips and uses fajita seasoning. That is so smart to pre-season that before you can it. Very nice. Oh, Mary says she prefers her hamburger dehydrated. I have never dehydrated meat before. It kind of skeeves me out. Candace Lind just got a new dehydrator today. Can't use it. Yay! I'm so happy for you. I can't wait for it to cool off. We're going to be dehydrating stuff out in the outdoor kitchen this year, and I can't wait for this humidity to leave. I swear the humidity was over 100% today because all it did was rain. My Florida Oasis, good evening from Central Florida. Canning meat, quite a mystery to me. Well, if you look on my other channel, The Big's Homestead Kitchen, I have a brand new video that just dropped about canning beef stew, and it's not hard at all. So if you have any questions about that, make sure you leave it on the comments on that channel or anywhere, and I will make sure to pick those up. And I am super behind on comments this week. I'm super behind on everything this week. It's been a week. My father-in-law was in a workplace accident and had to go to the emergency room. Nathan had to go to the hospital, and then my life has just been crazy this week. So I just don't, I really haven't had time to do a lot of things this week. It's been really crazy. I was chatting with Tony over on Instagram. And thank you, Tony, for listening to me whine about how spiritually defeated I felt at that moment. Yeah, Nathan is doing a lot better. I'm happy to hear that. I think my father-in-law is going to meet Monday with a surgeon. He had a piece of metal enter his right side. It entered here and it stuck in his cheekbone. He went to the hospital and they didn't do anything. They gave him some painkillers and sent him home and told him that he had to go see a facial surgeon. So he is going to sit all weekend with an 1.5 inch piece of metal stuck inside of his face. This is not the kind of treatment that I was expecting at a hospital. They really didn't even wipe the blood off of his mouth. He still had blood all over him when he got to my house after being discharged from the hospital for being there for 6 hours. They basically determined after doing some x-rays that he wasn't in any mortal danger, so they cut him loose. It's horrible. Thankfully, workers' comp has his case now, and they're going to be doing all that stuff, but I was shocked. Thank you, Lori, for asking people to hit the thumbs up button. YouTube loves that thumbs up. If you want to support the channel in a way that is totally free to you, smash that like button. Carrie, my goodness, can 42 quarts of tomatoes, 20 pints tomato juice. See, Carrie has this whole tomato shortage on lock. She's got all of her tomatoes up in the jars, and she doesn't have to worry about a thing now. All right. Happy to see you. I'm happy to see ya. I love the name of your channel. Andrea went back to work this week. Oh yeah. That's quite a thing. That's not lazy. Tackling the overflow and long-term storage closet, and of course adding to my shopping list as I go. Yep, we have a permanent shopping list that's always going. I know. I have that one lonely crabapple tree. I used to have 2 trees, but one died. Tater is being a rascal, running around. Yes, you do can meat in a glass jar. And if you're new to canning, on my other channel, The Big's Homestead Kitchen, I have a ton of videos on canning meat and soups and pork and all kinds of cool things. Okay, my goodness, Rita's been busy canning pork loin, canning pork butt, chicken leg quarters. Wow. New trim boards, caulk, and painting next week. This is amazing. Michelle J, over that humidity too. Absolutely. All right. Lori, I need to use my dehydrator more. Several people use dehydrators for ground beef. We are not using the dehydrator until it cools off because it is too hot and I spend too much money on air conditioning to heat the house back up with the dehydrator. So once it gets cold, yeah. So my video the other night about the beef stew, I missed my premiere because my father-in-law was sitting in my kitchen bleeding out of his mouth after being in the hospital. So I really just had to, it was I don't want to say it was a good experience, but it was a good test of number 1, mental fortitude, number 2, stomach, because it was disgusting. And just basic first aid knowledge and a great test of my skills from previous. I was a compounding pharmacy technician prior to working in the functional medicine space. So it was really nice to get in there with him and make sure that he knew and understood what his medication regime was, why he was going to take his medication, because when they let him go from the ER, they did not explain to him what any of the medications were, what they would do, how they would interact with the medications that he was already on. And then they didn't explain to him the importance of taking the medications as prescribed, along with ibuprofen, which he did not have. And they did not recommend that he pick up to keep the swelling down in his face. So basically, he was hit with a piece of metal. It went in his chin, up along his jawline, and stuck by his cheekbone. So he has a giant, I'll put a picture of it on my community page with his permission. Maybe I'll put a little black bar over his eyes. Yeah, I know. It was quite an evening. I was really, yeah. So I've been checking on him and texting him. I don't know if you can hear Tater, but he is a mess tonight. The Banks homestead got pecans for the first time. Only took 14 years. I wish I would have planted my pecan tree when I first moved onto this property, because I might have some pecans by now. Yeah, the hospital was less than helpful. And in 6 hours that he was there, they never even offered him a glass of water or anything to drink. When he got to me, he was completely dehydrated, and they had tried to start an IV on him 4 times. They finally had a nurse come in and try his hand, and they got it. But I'm telling you, it was not a good scene. They barely even gave him any painkillers and basically just shoved him out the door when they figured out that he wasn't in mortal danger. Mary Misfit, I have used after 7 years, would recommend using in a year or 2, but mine was good. Oh, okay. Thank you, Sally. Glad Nathan is doing better. Yeah. I was considering telling him to immediately leave my house and go to Shan's up in Gainesville to see if they could remove the metal from his jaw, from his cheekbone. And the trigeminal nerves are here. Like, that's one great thing about having the background that I do, is that I understand a lot of things. And I was floored. I wish he would have let me come to the hospital, because I would have put them in their place. Oh my goodness, you guys are overwhelming me with all the cool stuff that you've been doing. Ordered a dehydrator. Can't wait to get started. I have been canning like crazy, y'all. I will have my August canning totals up probably next week. I say that, but my life has been like kicked into a different gear. And that's the whole thing of this broadcast tonight, is talking about kicking the prepping into another gear. I have been micromanaging my time because I work outside the home, just getting things ready. I keep getting this, like, I don't know about you, but okay, so I've been a prepper for a long time. And when 2020 came, I was like, okay, this is what I've been prepping for. And the Lord said, nope, this isn't it. So 2021 came and I had to have an abdominal hysterectomy. Mr. Biggs had to have a surgery for an abdominal problem. He had his surgery first. 4 months later, I had my surgery, and I said, this is what I've been prepping for. And the Lord said, nope. I can't. I was like, but this is what we've been prepping for. Nope, that is not what we've been prepping for. And I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? This isn't it. Nope, this is not what you've been prepping for. In fact, as soon as you get better from your hysterectomy, you better double down. And now the message I've been receiving lately is circle the wagons and get ready. And I don't really know what that means, but I'm really hoping that that whatever it is, that my wagons will be circled and I will be ready. And let me know in the comments, guys, if you are hearing that sort of same, oh my goodness, I am so far behind on comments. Let me know in the comments if you have been kind of feeling that urgency and that message to just double down and prep even harder. I've been hitting the sales. I've been going, I've just been going crazy. So I wanted just to talk tonight a little bit about prepping is lifestyle insurance. And that's what I am considering my prepping at this point, is lifestyle insurance. I heard that the other day and I thought that is genius, because I have a certain lifestyle that I've become accustomed to. I like hot water. I like showers. I like air conditioning. I like the things that make my life comfortable. I like a nice cup of tea in the morning and in the evening before I go to bed. And then I'm seeing people, yeah, circle the wagons, double down if you can. I know I'm not alone, because Patera of Patera's Homestead Kitchen put on her channel the other day this message that she got, and I legit was folding laundry and I was like, in tears were stinging my eyes because I'm not alone. And I thought, I am not alone. Yeah, that is a good, yeah. So this is an amazing comment. Florida based. We have incentive to step it up on prepping. Once the masses awaken, it will be too late. Like literally, if you could see the light bulb, like bing, the little light bulb going off above my head, you're absolutely correct. Prepping now before the masses awaken is crucial. In fact, let me write that down. Y'all know I got notes. Okay, before the masses awaken. And that may be why I'm getting this overwhelming. Somebody just put panicky, like a little teeny bit panicky, just feeling that little push, that urgency, that drawing out of get ready. And that may be exactly what's happening. And our family rule is no less than a half a tank of gas. Now the family rule is no less than 3/4. So we're getting gas 2 times a week instead of 1, because I don't want my tank to go below a quarter or 3/4 of a tank. Hello, everybody. That is an amazing comment. Florida based. Thank you so much. Lori's Thrifty Prepper Kitchen, hearing the same thing. Watch a movie, London Has Fallen. I wonder if Apartment Prepper knows about that movie for her Prepper Movie Club. And if you haven't gone over to Apartment Prepper and checked out her movie club, Mr. B and I next weekend will be watching Trigger Effect. I remember watching that movie when I was pregnant with my son. I know modern refugee preparedness is a way of life for us as well. I know Mr. B has gotten like the same sort of feeling like that. We have to get this done. We have to get this done. So this morning we ran into Lowe's to get some things for the outdoor kitchen because he wants to make sure that that outdoor kitchen is ready to rock. If we need it and we need that, you know, solar pump on the well and we need that outdoor kitchen space, we can have it. Happy to see you. I'm hearing circle the wagons, be ready, double down if you can. You know, my husband was just doing something in the bedroom, and I said, "Is that for the new employees that the certain tax agency has hired?" And he said, "Maybe." Hi, Nene. Your fire was so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I really appreciate that. Banks Homestead also feeling the major urgency, 100%. So if you're feeling that, go ahead and put that. Tita, thank you. Holly, want winter to be over with. I think a lot of us are curious about what it holds. Yeah, Mr. B and I were talking about that this morning, just saying that we were on our way to the post office to drop off our package to Nathan. And P.S. Thank you everybody for super chats last week. Never needed, but always appreciated because that money goes straight to the boys. We were dropping off the package and I said, I don't know how people up north are going to do it this winter with the heating oil and the price of everything going up. And I wrote this, the degradation of lifestyle is going to be less than what we're used to. So like I said, I like hot water. I like showers. So there's going to be less hot water, less food, less eating out, less luxuries. People are going to lose their homes. There are tons of people that are behind on their rent that have been hiding kind of behind this whole COVID no eviction thing. But once that lifts, there is going to be mass evictions and bankruptcies. There's going to be less cars, less boats and toys. And it breaks my heart, legitimately breaks my heart. There have been 3 dogs on my road in the last 2 weeks that have been dumped by their owners. And you can tell they've been dumped by their owners because they run up to your car and try to get in. And that's very sad. And I don't pick up stray dogs anymore. I used to do that, but I don't do it anymore because it just is not a good idea right now. These were large dogs, and I know that they were dumped because, you know, you slow down because you don't want to hit them, and then they're running after your car. And that is absolutely heartbreaking because I live kind of in the middle of nowhere. So there's going to be less savings and less retirement and less services. My son got an increase on his insurance bill. I think I mentioned that last week, and he actually went down to a lower policy because he just couldn't afford it. And, you know, he's a young man with a job and he's, you know, making his own way. He has his own house and the whole everything. But that's going to be a reality for a lot of people coming up, is the degradation of lifestyle. So prepping ensures that I get the lifestyle that I have become accustomed to. If there's a certain thing that I want to make sure that I have, now is the time to prepare that 100%. All right. Mountain Patriot Homestead, prep my entire life, been raised by preppers. But there is a sense of urgency that I've never felt before. And I do believe that the before the masses wake up, I do believe that is the key. Because once people wake up and realize, number one, they've been lied to, and number two, there's only a limited amount of goods out there where the poop is literally going to hit the fan. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie World War Z before, but the grocery store scene is pretty spot on. And I actually met Max Brooks before, the man who wrote World War Z. It was a book before it was a movie, you know, with Brad Pitt. And that he actually researched some different like SHTF scenarios to get the information for all of that stuff. And I talked to him about it at length. It was pretty cool. Hey, how are you? I'm so glad you finally made a live too. That is awesome. I see Seabass is in there too. Hey, Seabass, really good to see you tonight. Yeah, you don't go below a quarter of a tank of gas in Florida, period. Yeah, but that 3/4 of a tank now is the new law in our house. Just got another 250-gallon propane tank for the generator. Funny, and that is awesome. I am so excited. All right, Gigi. So blessed to have all the YouTuber prep. Yeah, been ahead of all the shortages and price increases thanks to you. And the boots on the ground, if over at Simon Prepper One, every morning I do the dishes, I get the house prepared while I'm listening to that because that is my news. So what we've been doing is we've been shopping sales. We went to a restaurant supply store that we had never been to before. Obviously, I'm using my discounts, my coupons. I'm getting what I can and preserving it. I dry canned some potatoes. Whoops, that's onion skin. I dry canned some potatoes recently. This is the first time I've ever dry canned potatoes, and this is a Rebel thing. So I didn't make a video about it because I would never make a video for a new canner that was a Rebel recipe. But I just wanted to give it a try. So I did 8 jars, 8-pint jars. And I'll probably maybe do a little video of us opening these and eating them next weekend. I'm going to fry up some catfish that Mr. Biggs got. And we'll have some French fries with it. My mother Spark. Hello, I'm welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. If you could consider subscribing, we'd love to have you in the community. We have a great, great community here. Yeah, The Road. So Apartment Prepper mentioned that we would not be watching The Road, but that movie is disturbing and sad and probably one of the more realistic. It was a book as well. Okay. There's a sequel to Olympus Has Fallen. Oh, okay. All right. Andrea says, for me, get ready was all summer while off work. Now that school's back on its ease because I don't have the free time. Yeah. Like I'm canning after work. I'm canning when I never would have considered canning before. I make sure that I have the jars ready. I have the canner ready. I have the stuff in the refrigerator. And as soon as I get home, boom, I'm putting the stuff in the jars and getting it in the canner and then going and getting a shower. And by the time I get out and get, time for bed, the canner's done, shut it off, go to bed. And in the morning, waking up, taking the jars out. But I have never done that before. I've always just canned on weekends. And now I'm canning in every chance I get. My son took next week off so we can double down on getting some things done. That is amazing. Mr. B, I know, has been strict about leaving work at 4:30 because normally he'll stay if there's work to be done. But he's been really strict this past week about leaving on time so that he can get his outdoor kitchen ready. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Lori said she hasn't eaten at a sit-down restaurant since December because of prices. Last time we ate out, it was $45 for lunch without tip for 2 people for a cold burger, cold fries, and broken nachos, and we were out. So that whole when the masses thing, when the masses wake up thing, that is something that I'm going to think about because here's what I've noticed with most preppers. Most preppers, when they go into a store, they identify the item that they want while there is a large supply, and they only take what they have. I've noticed that most preppers, honest Christian people, do not clear shelves and they're not greedy. So if, like, for me personally, if there's 4 things of beef in the case and the limit is 2, I'm going to take my 2 and I'm going to go. But if the limit is, whatever, if there's no limit, I'm probably still just going to take 2 and leave 2 for someone else. Tater decided he needed screen time. He's getting big. Tater T. Biggs. That's the boy right there. Is that actually a bucket of lard hanging behind you? So I decided that I needed some fall colors, but it's empty. But it is a bucket of lard back in the day. It's just a really old bucket. Oh, whoops! I'm losing. Oh, I don't know what is happening. Okay, wait. I have to write that down. Florida-based said that. Okay. Because tomorrow when I do the wrap-up video, I'm going to make sure I give you credit for that. Prepping is a start, then build skills, then organizing community. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, people are starting to dump their dogs here because we have a no-kill shelter and there's no room at the shelter for the dogs. Please don't do that, Tater. Don't chew the cord, baby. Up gas. Oh, Nene says gas is back up to $3.99 in her area. Well, you know what? I gotta tell you that is awful. That is awful. And you know that they're gonna sneak it back up as soon as the midterms are over. You better buckle up. I know Popular Preparedness. Love Popular Preparedness. He is awesome and like a very sensible presentation of some uncomfortable topics without the, Armageddon is here and, all that, without the hype, just information, no hype, and presented in a very calm way versus some other channels that I've seen recently that, and I still watch them, but that are, a little more hyped up. All right. Make sure to pull some cash out of the bank, small bills, in case the seller doesn't have change. May become a time when, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I watched on Popular Preparedness that they were thinking about another toilet paper shortage, and somebody put in the comments, the way that our money is going, we may end up wiping with that. Karen says, never used a canner or dehydrator. Oh my gosh. I don't know what I would do without canning. I don't know if y'all have seen my prepper pantry, but there's a lot of jars in there. All right, Carrie, my husband is not on board with prepping, but over the years I've gotten very crafty. So Mr. B's big stopping point is a second freezer. He absolutely is like, nope, we are not doing that. I am not going to be responsible for keeping a second freezer going if we don't have power. Yeah, I'm worried about people with rebel canning as well. Yeah, no, don't. That's why I didn't make a video about it, because I would never make a video with something that was rebel canned. I have always done Blue Book approved recipes, but I really wanted to try the dry canning of the potatoes. We've canned potatoes in the past and not really cared for them that much. So I just wanted to try it and see how it would go, which is why I did not do a video on it. Oh my gosh, Lori, that is a personal SHTF. Subbing a pre-K class. No, thank you, ma'am. No. Although I think 7th and 8th graders would be worse. Leaving canning in canner overnight was told your food can sour. No, that's not true. That is not true. No. Because you've already completed the canning process. The canner is completely cold when you come to it. So you just open it up and your jars are sealed and you have everything. I don't understand what the difference would be between cooling them on the counter and cooling them in the canner. That doesn't make any sense to me. But I can see where somebody might think that. I don't know. Everybody wants to say hi to Tater. He's tired. All right, let me go through some of these. Yeah, I have canned all night long if the situation calls for it as well. Absolutely, 100%. Pre-hurricane, I am canning. It's insane. Prepping by Faith. Hi, how are you? I caught your live the other night and it was fantastic. And did I say that you're having Alaska Prepper on as a guest? Get out of here. All right. Oh, thank you so much, Uncle Al. Make sure you press that like button. YouTube loves the like button. For whatever reason, they just love it. Yeah, Never Stop Preparing says that I don't recall seeing gas drop here in Chicago at all. $2.94. Where do I get that? I want to get some $2.94 gas. My goodness. Oh, wow. Steve lives right down the road from Carrie. That's pretty cool. Let's see. I think I live right up the road from Gray Man Prepping, like up, north of him, but not too far. All right. Who's your prepping nurse? That's Sally. Our gas went to $3.99 when the refinery here in Indiana shut down. The refinery opened, and the gas is coming down to $3.72. Do you remember a couple years ago when it was like under $3? Because I do. Okay, get your physical preparation in check. Most neglected prep. Home gym and physical preparation. Absolutely. So I am a year out from my abdominal hysterectomy, and I am proud to say that I am back to working out. And I think I'm pretty close to the fitness level I was pre-surgery, which makes me extremely happy. I gave myself a year to recover and get back to it, and here we are. And September 27th is the year anniversary. Oh my gosh, Epic Economist. I love the Dr. Doom. My husband's like, are you kidding me again with this guy? Yeah, his voice is pretty awesome. Okay. So everything but home. How do you help yourself stay calm and uplifted? I have been busy prepping, but still getting depressed. Let's talk about it. If anybody has any tips for everything home, put them please down in the comments. How I do it is I make sure to unplug for a little while. Like if we're going to watch a movie, I'm like, okay, we are going to watch a movie and we're going to enjoy it together. We go outside, we walk the dogs, we have our chickens and all that stuff. Just make sure that you are taking time, that I am taking time to unplug, listen to some music every day at 7 a.m. I cut off YouTube, I cut off everything, and I listen to music for pretty much a solid hour, maybe even an hour and 15 minutes while I get ready for work, drive to work, and I make sure to have a playlist that is uplifting to me and makes me happy, so happy music. And then I just go ahead and ride on to work. Let's see. And just make sure that you're in prayer and okay. Well, I have a your kitchen, your rules. That's a lot of times before I have to go to bed, and that's just it. I don't have time to wait for it to cool down and then take them out when they're, still warm. Oh, Tammy got a ton of tomatoes from the local veggie rescue group. That's awesome. Carol Cusack had to dip into savings this week to pay bills and pick up groceries. I'm budgeting, but paychecks are just not stretching far enough. And see, that's where we're going back to less savings, less retirement, and less services. So some things that I've been doing recently, we've been fortifying our home. We have a brand new solar light. I'll do a video about that. We've been streamlining and organizing, getting caught up and doing chores, getting rid of what no longer serves us. So that everything that doesn't serve us is going out. It's being donated to the church, donated to friends, family, whatever, and getting it out of here. We've definitely been busy. And then I put practice skills, and that's not a joke because having to nurse my father-in-law the other night at the kitchen table was 100% a really good test. Mrs. P. Kitty 13, I'm the first one up, so calm and quiet in the house. Yeah, that's the me time. That's really, really good. Oh, thanks, Prepping by Faith. And if you haven't checked out Prepping by Faith's channel yet, definitely go and do that because she's fantastic. Praying and being grateful for the little things. So every night before I go to bed, before I go to sleep, I say my prayers, obviously, and then I take 10 deep breaths and I say what I'm grateful for on every single breath. So I could be grateful for my bed, for my blankets, for my tater, for my husband, for, rain or not rain or whatever. And I just fall asleep with gratitude. And then as soon as I wake up in the morning, it's 10 deep breaths again with the gratitude again. Tammy says, we picked our first 2 watermelons. The first was 26 pounds and the second one was 20 pounds. Wow, Tammy, that is awesome. Michelle says, agree, paychecks just aren't going far enough. No savings anymore. So the average American, like this has been a trend, but the average American does not have $400 to cover an emergency. So a cracked tooth or a flat tire or any of that thing. It's a razor's edge. Oh, hey, Kendra full of joy. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. And Melody has her faith in Jesus, started taking meds for depression, but don't want that, decided to get close to Jesus. That's awesome. Yeah, that guy Jesus, he's a great guy. Yeah, there you go. I tell myself I've done my best and what happens, happens. And we have a saying kind of in the recovery community that God doesn't bring you this far to drop you on your head now. So as long as you're prepared and you are aware and you are doing the things that you're supposed to be doing and doing the next right thing, then, God doesn't bring you all the way to the end to drop you on your head right when you get there. Okay. Look at what you've already done. You're so much farther along than you think. None of us ever think we're really ready. Yeah, none of us think we're ready. I don't think I'm ready by any stretch of the imagination, but I know that I'm more ready than most, and I'm mentally and physically ready, and I'm spiritually ready, which is a huge component of prepping that a lot of people don't actually think about. So one thing that I have been doing is researching. I got a new book, The Great Depression. So I'm going to be checking this out. And one thing that you can do is research what grows in your area. What did people during the Civil War eat every day in your area? What did people in World War II eat? What was a day in the life like during the Depression for your area? I'll tell you what, the people that lived in Central Florida during the Depression pre-air conditioning, they were some bad mamma jammas. I'll tell you that right now, because this place is no joke. You can look for plants to forage in your area. You can look up your regulations for hunting and fishing. It's a good idea to do that now, because a lot of people are like, I'll just hunt. Okay, all right. I'm going to go fishing. Okay, but do you know what that entails in your area? Do you have to have a license? Where can you fish? When can you fish? That's important stuff to know. So I looked up, I was just looking up some random things. And one thing that I'm trying not to do is let myself get distracted. So there's been a lot of celebrity breakups lately, and some divorces and some deaths and some trials, like the whole, that's on TV and all over social media, and these news stories, they're very sensational and it's shock and awe, and everybody wants you to talk about it, and then everybody's flying to their social media and doing all that. Nope. Nothing distracts me from my primary purpose, which is to prepare for what is coming. So this is a great thing to think about when I get sucked into those, flashy news stories like, ooh, who did Kim K break up with this week? Listen, that has nothing to do with my reality. Those people are wackadoos, and I don't need any of that in my life. So I'm paying attention to my local area. My crime is increasing. I want to know where it's increasing, what kind of crime it is, and what I can do to harden my own person and my family and my home against a would-be criminal. I've been watching the weather, because there could be a tropical storm coming, an afternoon storm. Goodness knows that tornado that we had at my office recently was, just a surprise little storm that turned into a tornado. But we had tornadoes on the ground. Put that on my community page this week, and it was in the western part of Marion County, so not where I was. I need to be checking in with my home. Is everything that I need in my home? I need to check in with my family. How are they? Are they hanging in there with the psychological stress that everyone's under right now? Do they need to talk about anything? Do I need to talk about anything? I need to check in with my church and my friends. Does my church need volunteers? Do we need to do a coffee? Do we need to do something together to enforce our community? My friends, I need to be checking in on folks that might need me, like the elderly or my people in my circle. Is there a new mother that could use a casserole? Like, these are things that people used to do. And that is, something that people don't do as much anymore. So then I got a little deeper down. I got my tinfoil hat out and put it on my head. And so I looked up the definition of psychological warfare, and it said TV, news shows, manipulation via leaflets, radio, media broadcast, visual intimidation by social media accounts, and the use of propaganda to encourage an enemy's surrender or terror, using a threat, real or imaginary. And I said, oh, well, that sounds like something that we've been going through for a little while, doesn't it? It has a ring to it, doesn't it? So I laugh to keep from crying because that's just sad. But there is a large amount of psychological warfare and spiritual warfare going on right now. There's been a division of the people, us versus them. So I'm watching that messaging because they're preying on folks that are weak or vulnerable, and that's not okay. So most people are just like me. They want to be, they want their kids to succeed, and they want to have a life, and they want to have a house and a job and a dog and the things that normal people want. And so to divide and divide again and divide again until we all feel very alone and afraid is basically the crux of kind of what they're going for. So there's been some demoralization, the poorly controlled physical symptoms leading to depression, anxiety, addiction, reduced social function, unemployment, and alcohol consumption is up 39% just over year by year over 2020. So this is something that we're going to have to really be vigilant of, because we're being hit by so many things and so many sides, and it's so easy to go ahead and get sucked into a trial or a celebrity funeral or a death or something. And I don't want anything to do with that. I want to make sure that I am 100% focused on what I need to do. All right, I'm going to catch up with some comments. If anybody has a question for me, make sure you put it in all caps because it's the end of the broadcast almost. We're expecting bad times, unlike most people on the planet. If they're expecting it, they wouldn't be prepping. Absolutely. They ate rock soup. Ugh. The Hoover chicken. The Hoover chicken was very popular during the Depression in the South, because Hoover promised a chicken in every pot, and the Hoover chicken for most people was a turtle. And you don't want to eat turtles because they have parasites, and that's not good. I try not to worry about things outside of my control. I can't change the world, the country, or even my state or city. I don't worry about it. That's right. I worry about my trash can lid. So if you take the lid off the trash can and stand inside of it, I can control exactly what's in that about 3 square feet, which is including my own brain. Tammy says, I honestly don't think we can be totally ready. We can't, because we don't truly know what is really going to happen. Yeah, be safe. That's the number one thing. And Kelly S. says there's a great book called A Square Meal, The Culinary History of the Great Depression. Okay, I need to check that out. If you tell yourself you've done the best, God will do the rest. I like it. This girl preps. Hey, the unprepared masses is what scares me the most. Yeah, that was a really good point. And that is going to be my takeaway from this live, is that before the masses wake up, we need to be ready. Yeah. Okay, the Florida purebloods. I happen to be a pureblood, as a matter of fact, and so is Mr. B. Hey, apartment prepper, how are you? Hey, girl, I plugged your movie night. I'm so excited for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. We all feel the dollar crunch. We used to put $500 a month in preps, but in June, I got my first $575 light bill and cut down prepping to $50 a month. Yeah, Mr. B and I were discussing that on the way to the post office this morning, that our disposable income seems to have dropped. Like, we used to have more, like, double income, no kids. We used to have, like, money. If we wanted something, we would just go buy it. But now it's like it's a choice. And that's, and we have medical debt now too. So we're trying to pay that all off. Amen, Beth. It's Mornings with Granny. Hey, how are you, lady? Yeah, right. Karen says, I love locally that in your area. Trust me, you ain't missing a thing. That's right. It's all overrated. Keeping focused is the number one thing. Don't let anything distract from your personal preparedness, whether that's paying off a bill, paying off debt, making a doctor's appointment, whatever you got to do to get prepared and move that needle forward is 100%, because it's so easy for me to doom scroll on Instagram reels, because I love reels, but I gotta, and I had to take a little break from social media this past week because we've been so busy. One of the homes on the walk was a home built in the late 1700s, run by a settlers group, and they had a typical garden. Oh, nice. You made a list of what they grew. That's awesome. Okay. Just going to go down through some comments. Beth Mitchell, we are 100% in a great spiritual warfare right now, for sure. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen, we're almost done. We got like 5 minutes. I don't know if you've seen the latest show about how a woman had a baby with Satan and she is the Antichrist and she goes to like junior high school. It's a cartoon for children. No. They're not even trying to hide it now. They're not even trying to hide it at this point. Karen, that's lovely. I love that. Psalms are so nice. They're so comforting. They are really to the soul. Anybody have an electric canner that they can recommend? I had an electric canner for a little while and I got rid of it because it kept busting my jars. So I just didn't like it. Okay. I only had hand crank can openers. I have 4. I have more than a few can openers. They're hidden everywhere. Tammy, they keep coming up with different issues to distract us from what really is going on. Yeah, absolutely. You're right. The WEF working on taking over the world, and we're going to have a digital currency soon. I caught the Prepping by Faith live the other night about digital currency, and that is 100% true. People are taking out bank loans to buy groceries. You're right. That is so sad. Okay. Yeah, it is oppression. Somebody just said oppression, and they're absolutely right. People don't realize there's a spiritual realm. Yes, absolutely, 100%. Yes, 100%. like Shakespeare said, the hell is empty and the devils are all here. And they don't even try to hide it anymore. They don't. Oh, hey, this girl Preps had her light bill drop by $10 this month. That's a win. That is a win. Yeah, call up your people and see if they can get any discounts. A YouTube channel that does depression meals. The host grew up in the depression. Is that Clara? I love her channel. Love, love, love. I used to watch her channel, I think, when she was still alive. Hey, Nobana canned ground beef for the first time. There are fats floating in it. Is that normal? Yes, that is normal. And it's perfectly okay. Don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. Hi, Maria. How are you? I saw you the other day. Thanks for coming by. I really appreciate you being in the live. Yeah, it will solidify. The fat will solidify and cool once it settles down. Yeah, the fat will float. It's good. And your body's going to need some fat if SHTF. Absolutely. Yeah, that was a bad canner. Hi, Michael. I love you. I've known Michael since he was born. Let's see. Yeah, I had the Carry electric canner, but it kept breaking my jar, so I got rid of it. I didn't like it at all. I actually threw it away, and I don't throw anything away. All right, we've got about 2 minutes. I just want to thank you all so much for being here. Mad Canner, listen at you. Okay, what do I spend a week on groceries per person? Then if you have extra money do you spend extra money? Okay, so we have $400 budget a month that's prepper pantry and groceries. It's $400 a month. It's been $400 a month forever and ever and ever. But what is happening now is there's less money for canning and prepping and more money for the actual groceries. So that's what we're doing. But it's always been $400, and I am not wanting to. I'm not wanting to raise it. USMC. I had the carry canner. Yep. And, you know, I loved the thing. And I thought it was so cool that you didn't have to drag out the big canner and the whole everything. Maybe I'll get another one. Sad canner. That's one thing Michael's been able to do my whole life is make me laugh. Let's see. I know there's so many of my favorite people in here tonight. You guys are awesome. Yeah. So my budget of $400 does not include paper or anything like that. Usually I try to coupon at Dollar General for all that stuff. It can, but not really. Thank you so much for the kind words, Sally. And thank you guys so much for being here. I'm going to be on for about another 2 minutes, just wrapping it up. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all of your comments and your likes and your subscription. I really appreciate all of you. And again, all of the money from all of the money from YouTube and from Super Chats and all of the money from everything, my YouTube goes to the boys, goes to the troops, and they are having some really cool packages being sent to them, and I am very excited to send it. I'm sending a package every other week, and then on the off week, I'm sending an Amazon package. So their Amazon is up and working, and I feel blessed to have that because that means I don't have to pay for shipping, and I can send some heavier stuff over when I don't have to pay for the shipping. And I am using the flat rate boxes. I appreciate all of you so much. And thank you for bearing with me for last week when I basically just had to X out of all social media because I was spiritually, I was spiritually worn out. Absolutely. And then my father-in-law got hurt and that was it. Madeline, thank you so much. You're a delight. That's half of a box to the boys. That's half of a box. And I appreciate you so, so much. I know I must have had a bad canner. I need to get another one. I wonder if Mr. B will spring for that. No. It is almost my birthday. He said no. I don't know if you heard him, but he said no. Oh, thank you. Happy to see you. I really appreciate it. Are you going to come over here and say goodbye to the folks? No electric canner?
Yeah, I've been saying we need one.
No, you haven't.
Yeah. Just now.
Just right now.
Actually, hold on.
Okay, wait. We only have 3 minutes.
Oh, that's plenty of time.
Oh, Lord. So I'm excited to talk with you about what's in this book. I really need to get writing. I really need to get reading. Oh, man, it's late. Michael's in here.
Wilcox?
Yeah.
Well, hello. So I've heard her talk about a lot of stuff when I'm in there doing my thing, but we were going through can openers like crazy. You know, everybody's like, oh, get the little military one. Yeah, you're going to end up like this.
Peter.
It doesn't look like much. I don't know how the computer works. It has, everything's backwards. It has a long handle, I guess, for torque, but it's called a swing away. Yeah, swing away can opener. And we have one that like mounts to a table from the same company with the same handle. These things are so nice.
I've had that one for years.
Yeah. We were going through like the Walmart ones like every other month. And this thing just keeps going and going and going. Big prep. I actually want to get another one just to have. It beats trying to lay yourself open.
All right. Good night, everybody. Oh, by Anco for your reference. Thank you, Mr. Wilcox.
By Anco?
Yeah. All right. Yay. Everybody's like, yay, that's the best can opener. Yay. Okay. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Madeline, for the super chat. Always appreciated. Never. If you just guys want to watch some ads, I really appreciate it. Okay. I will see you all over at Pinball Preparedness. Night, everybody.